If the average worker in the state of Texas did not show up to do their job, they would be fired. And yet these Democrats think they can break quorum, leave the job they have to do, go to Illinois, go to New York, wherever the case may be, and not do their job. And let me tell you something. Their voters are not going to look kindly upon them for this.
His wife has a podcast with her brother where she was like, actually, Barack Obama sucks. Thank God I didn't have a son. What? I mean, bro, why are you out here dropping takes on redistricting? You need to take care of that.
Take care of your house.
But that, like,
Big Mike's running wild.
America is back. Thanks to President Trump and leader John Thune's working family tax cuts, we stopped the biggest tax hike in history. But that's only the beginning. The big, beautiful bill also cuts taxes on tips and overtime, secures the border, finishes the wall, and protects Medicaid for Americans, not illegals. Leader Thune and Senate Republicans got President Trump's conservative agenda done, providing real relief for every hardworking American that's up early and home late. We're bringing manufacturing jobs back home and making America great again. Tell Leader John Thune and Senate Republicans thank you for delivering President Trump's agenda. Learn more at onenationamerica.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
Keep the faith, hold the line, and own the libs.
It's time for our main event.
Fun Time Friday here on the Ruthless Variety program. Thank you very much for joining us. And Josh Holmes, along with Comfortably Smug, Michael Duncan, and John Ashbrook, left to right across your radio dial. As always, we got a very big show for you. We got the governor of the great state of Texas with us today, Greg Abbott. Good friend of the program. I mean, it's just like third or fourth time on here.
Guy's making a lot of news.
He's making a lot of news. I don't think you could avoid it this week. In fairness, it's the libs in Texas that have been making the news. He's just trying to be responsible about it.
Well, in fairness, the libs make all our news here on the Ruthless Variety program.
They do.
And he's the beneficiary of it. It's pretty much the biggest story in politics right now. It's a big get for the Ruthless Variety program.
No, absolutely. It's awesome, and I can't wait for you all to hear that. I will have to say, they don't make all of our news. We make a little bit of it ourselves from time to time. We might have started a little bit of a generational war on Thursday's program, which was unintended. I think we were probably trying to make an observation about Howard Stern or maybe AI.
It is an AI thing. And so if you look at the comments, there are folks who are like, whoa, what's with the like boomer tax? And I completely agree. There's no space for that whatsoever. Yeah. I think I've said it before on the show, and I stand with all boomers. Boomers are the greatest generation.
People wonder.
Everything that we have is because of them and their accomplishments. And thank God for the boomers, which is why, I mean, I think we have a special announcement, right?
We do. People wonder if we actually read all the comments.
Yeah, they do.
When you submit your comments and you
they
like
thought
and
we
subscribe.
were bluffing, I think.
And then you get to opine. They thought we were bluffing, and we're not. We have heard from the boomer community, and we're going to defend them with a special gift here on the Ruthless Variety program.
Courtesy of Smug.
That is courtesy of Smug. He did the stitching himself. Yeah. We have a new shirt, Thank a Boomer, in the Ruthless Podcast store. All you got to do is go to store.ruthlesspodcast.com, buy that shirt, wear it with pride.
Enjoy it.
And that's the thing is because they deserve to be thanked for their accomplishments. They're maligned so much. They get all this blame for all these things that had nothing to do with, but they get no thanks for this country that they've built. And they deserve our gratitude. Honestly, they deserve a holiday.
Buy the shirt, start a conversation.
Yep. Thank a boomer.
Thank a conversation. An intergenerational discussion, if you will.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get to Abbott, a little bit of setup. So most of you already know the news that there is an attempt in Texas to do a redistricting to try to ensure that they have representation in Congress that is a representation of the state of Texas, much like many states do, and they're taking a look at all of that. They convened a special session, the governor did, to not just address that. It wasn't just the redistricting. They also, if you recall, like less than a month ago, had the most catastrophic flood in the history of Texas. We covered it several weeks. I mean, it was awful, and the stories out of it were terrible. Part of that was to ensure that Texas was doing what it needed to do from a recovery standpoint, and the other part was redistricting. Well, Democrats in Texas, as they have been known to do, decide that when they don't have the votes for something that they disagree with, they just flee the state. All right. Which is where we pick up with the governor. I want to welcome to the program a good friend of the program. I think this is third or fourth time here. Last time we saw him was in Milwaukee. He's got a lot going on. It's the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Great to see you guys again.
It's great to see you too. I wish we could just get into the yucks and have some jokes and tell stories. But it sounds like you got an awful lot on your hands down there. You've got a Democratic Party that basically refuses to participate in democracy.
Now we got to round up a bunch of Democrats who decided to flee the state as opposed to doing their job. Listen, if the average worker in the state of Texas did not show up to do their job, they would be fired. And yet these Democrats think they can break quorum, leave the job they have to do, go to Illinois, go to New York, wherever the case may be, and not do their job. And let me tell you something. Their voters are not going to look kindly upon them for this. They don't like people not showing up for work. And that's exactly what the Democrats in Texas are guilty of. Yeah,
I hope they're punished for it by the voters and maybe other means as well.
I mean, can I say, right now, Governor, you're like a personal hero of mine because so much of Democrats' politics lately has been escaping accountability. And it seems like you're one of the few people interested in actually holding them accountable. For the past years, they've tried running away, and you've drawn the line in the sand and said enough is enough.
Well, and candidly, for Texans, is even more embarrassing than that because in Texas, we believe in standing and fighting, not running from a fight. And that's what the Democrats have done. Let's go back to the early days of Texas, the Battle of the Alamo. The reason why that's so cherished in Texas is because the Texans in the Alamo chose to stay and fight, not run away. And yet we have Democrats who are saying, come and take it, but yet they're saying it from some other state. It's not, it doesn't work that way. Come and take it. We're trying to take it to them, but we can't track them down.
Well, where they have gone is also of interest. I want to play a clip for you, get your reaction. I think that they were thinking the governor of Illinois was going to the comfy confines of the Colbert Show. This is how that went last night.
If you're considering doing a little more redrawing in Illinois, you already have some crazy districts in Illinois. Take a look at this. Look at 17 here. It does that, then it comes up here and it sneaks around there and goes all the way up here and then goes right over there like that. And look at this one, kind of goes whoop up there. It's like the stinger on a scorpion down here. Is this common for all states to do?
Well, we handed it over to a kindergarten class and let them decide.
Okay, and that's the nonpartisan group that does this for you guys?
That's our independent commission, that is,
Josh, if I may, the two districts that Colbert pointed out are represented by Democrats, drawn in some smoke-filled room in Chicago, who knows when. And so what I'd like to ask you is, do you think that J.B. Pritzker has the right idea here, or is he off the mark?
So, meaning the right idea about having kindergartners draw it? But I got to tell you guys this. So there was something unexpected that has surfaced because of all this dispute. And that is Americans have now realized how gerrymandered all these blue states are. They now see that map in Illinois. They see the map in New York. They see that 40% of the people in Massachusetts voted for President Trump, and yet there are zero Republican congressional districts there. Look at what happened in California. The worst examples of gerrymandering are Democrat states, and now Americans have realized that.
Yep. Okay, Duncan?
Yeah, no, I think it's great that they went to Illinois. It's like they did study abroad in a non-extradition country so they could learn how to gerrymander better.
It's so good. So just tell me, the thing that I think has been lost, obviously this has become a redistricting fight. The former President Obama has weighed in, which, we'll get started on that later. But this is also flood relief. This is stuff that's super important to Texans. And they're just abandoning ship. Tell me just what the general reaction in Texas has been to all that.
So Texans are angry. And listen, you're spot on in the point that you raised, and that is we are dealing with the travesty of the deadliest flood in the history of the state of Texas. And we have agenda items on this special session agenda that Democrats are not addressing. In fact, the state cannot address them because of the missing Democrats. That alone may be a reason why many of these Democrats are going to be losing their job, because they failed to show up and help provide relief and support for Texans who desperately need it.
So Governor, I'm curious here, because I've seen these Democrats are raising money while they're AWOL from work. What's the status of that? I thought there were some rules and regulations when the Texas legislature is trying to be in session that they're not allowed to do that sort of fundraising. Can you clarify that for us?
So fundraising during a special session is not prohibited. However, there's something that has occurred. At least there seems to be evidence of what I'm about to tell you, and that is there have been people who have made offers to these legislators that if they break quorum and do not vote on this, they will be receiving money. And it looks like that has happened. So yeah, you're getting it. So what that violates both the Texas constitutional provision and a penal code statute. That is bribery under Texas law if those are the facts.
Wow, that's incredible. So how does this thing end? I mean, I know that you guys are doing everything you can do to try to get these people back, and I know that you're getting some, what sounds like maybe federal help at this point to do it. Like, how does this end?
The way it always does, and that is the Democrats always come back. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be next month. They're going to come back, or we'll be able to track them down one way or the other. They're coming back, and it's going to end with these maps being passed. And, what I'm thinking now is if they don't start showing up, I may start expanding it. We may make it 6 or 7 or 8 new seats we're going to be adding on the Republican side.
Yeah. The wall just got 10 feet higher. No, but, look, these guys have been so daring. This is not the first time the Texas Democrats have done this. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago they came to D.C., and they absolutely got crushed, by the way. I mean, nobody wanted to have them. They hung out with a bunch of left-wing activists. Everybody tried to ship them back as fast because they were embarrassing the entire national party with what they were doing. But this seems to be somewhat of a pattern. They're preserving, quote-unquote, preserving democracy by not participating in it. Isn't that it?
Well, it is that hypocrisy, if you would. They are preserving democracy by denying democracy. And that's one reason. So a couple of days ago, I filed a lawsuit in the Texas Supreme Court seeking the removal of the leader of this group of Democrats who have fled, because I am saying that under Texas law, he has abandoned his office by refusing to show up and by denying the state the ability to pass these laws that are so very important. And so we're seeking to set a new precedent in Texas that will ensure that anytime they try to do this again, it will be abandonment of office, allowing their removal from office.
That is exactly what I wanted to hear. Because it seems like every time something like this comes up that they don't agree with, but they don't have the votes to beat, they just run away. And how do you stop that over a longer period of time? I mean, go ahead.
How embarrassing is that? I mean, that's something that school kids do. I'm losing the game. I'm just going to walk away and leave. That's not the way adults operate. It's not the way that employees operate. But know this, Texans, that's the way your Texas Democrats operate. And that's exactly why more and more Texans are voting Republican than ever before.
It's well said. So are we going to see Rangers fanning out across the country, cuffing and stuffing some of these guys?
So we have Texas Rangers as well as Texas Department of Public Safety officers who are working with federal officials like they have done in years past, and we're working to seek and find them and hold them accountable.
Quick question. Is there a hotline or a website if someone sees one of these Dems where they can pass along a tip?
They may show up on the backside of milk cartons.
Or the backside of J.B. Pritzker, which is formidable, I might add. It's formidable.
Governor, I think the only person in the state who has an approval rating as high as yours is Arch Manning. And I'm curious.
That's a good point.
Do you think that Texas has the stuff to beat Ohio State here in week 1?
I do, and I'll tell you why. Texas has probably the best defense of all college football in this upcoming season. Couple that with Arch Manning, with great running backs, a good offense. They don't need to score 50 points. I think they can score 17 to 24 points, and that's going to be all they need. And remember this also, Ohio State is also rebuilding. They have a new quarterback, a new offensive coordinator, and so they're starting from scratch more than Texas is here.
Ugh, man, you're going to find out pretty quickly. Well, week 1 matchup, 1-2. That's big stuff. I imagine the entire state, once they get through all this unpleasantness, that's what everybody's focused on.
Yeah, and he's saying to every Democrat, the eyes of Texas are upon you.
Listen, Governor, we can't thank you enough for joining us. You're a good friend of the program. You can come back anytime. I'd love to hear an update from all of you once this whole thing is resolved, because you're doing the right thing down there.
Look forward to it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Only 58% of Americans today say they're proud to be American. The lowest number ever recorded. That's not just sad, it is very dangerous, because if we forget what makes America special, we risk losing it. That's why Americans for Prosperity is launching the One Small Step campaign, a bold nationwide initiative to reconnect Americans with our founding principles that sparked unparalleled innovation and prosperity. It's not just a celebration, it's a call to action. Through the 250,000 Steps for Freedom Challenge, AFP is partnering with the grassroots in all 50 states to take meaningful steps that defend freedom and advance opportunity. Call your representative, attend a local event, knock on a door, talk to your neighbors. Every single step counts, and every step moves us closer to a more perfect union. Go to takeonesmallstep.com to learn more, then join the challenge at afpvolunteer.com.
So Abbott's awesome.
Yeah.
A good friend of the program got his hands full with quite a situation, but it sounds to me like he's very interested in resolving this thing soon.
Again, I got to say, I could not be more thrilled. Accountability is the greatest fear of the left. They hate when someone's like, no, we don't have to follow laws. Why are you making us follow laws? Thank God there are people doing it. He did it from, I mean, we would not be in the situation we are now with the border effectively completely shut, 0 people crossing, unless there's people like Governor Abbott who shipped illegals to Martha's Vineyard and put that issue on the map, and he's doing it again. Like he said, you know, people across this country with the Democrats trying to whine about redistricting and gerrymandering, they just made it obvious that blue states gerrymander like none other.
And you are so right about no accountability for the left. I mean, Stephen Colbert literally put 2 ridiculous, unexplainable Democrat-held districts in front of J.B. Pritzker and is like, hey, how do you explain these? And Pritzker's like making a joke.
Well, yeah, right.
Because he knew
Yeah.
he wasn't going to be pressed that they're Democrats.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing, and that's what late night comedy has become. Is like a Democrat can come on and put on the clown nose, and then everybody laugh.
No accountability,
because they actually get the joke. They don't actually care about what's right or fair or democracy. They just want to be able to get away with it. And a guy like Governor Abbott's like, no, I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to cut some deal to get you to come back here. I'm not going to water down any of my plans. I'm going to take this to the hilt, and I'm going to do it for all of Texas.
It's such a good point, because it's not just about congressional representation. It is about illuminating, as you said, an issue that may not affect everybody, but now you know about it. I mean, this redistricting that Democrats have done in blue states is unbelievable. That map of, I mean, you could hit a 3-wood across multiple parts of those districts to connect one Democratic thing to another in order to make it a Democratic district.
And under what circumstances do you live in a county downstate in Illinois that voted like 75-25 for Trump and your member of Congress is a Democrat? Only in the circumstances where J.B. Pritzker is in charge and he makes sure that a Democrat represents that district.
And it's all yucks until Republicans do it. Which I love the fact that they're doing what they're doing, because it is highlighting the issue. If you got a problem with it, all right, you want to start redrawing Illinois?
Yeah.
You want to start redrawing?
And like you said, Massachusetts, 40% of the votes are for President Trump, and there's zero GOP districts.
But Illinois, the fact that they went to Illinois is just like, if you were a screenwriter, you couldn't have wrote this in, because no one would believe it. It's just perfect illustration of their hypocrisy. I mean, this is ground zero for Chicago-style politics, like where power is the only thing that matters. Democrats have been getting away with everything there forever, including Barack Obama himself, who redrew his state Senate race so he could carve in a bunch of progressive, rich white people to fund his U.S. Senate Democratic campaign and has run for president.
Yep.
Dude, you're exactly right. And then in the case of Massachusetts, we were talking about this the other day. Not a single member of Congress represents that state who is a Republican, and that hasn't been the case. No Republican has represented the state of Massachusetts in the House of Representatives for 30 years.
Maybe if we sent some more illegal immigrants up there from Texas, maybe they'd change their mind.
Also, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the news broke this morning when it comes to those Texas Dems that Soros-funded groups have been funding them.
I'm shocked.
Their travel, their hotels. It's like,
And this is what Abbott was talking about, the new
Open
revelation. It
lawlessness.
looks as though
Yep.
they have been taking financial resources in one form or another to not be in session.
which is insane.
that he said it's in Constitution in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and there's statute. Throw them in the brig.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's if that's statute, it's pretty cut and dry. If they're sitting in hotel rooms in Chicago that are paid for by George Soros, that's what it is.
But that's the whole. It's the
insane.
whole MO of the left, and it always has been. Is their radical politics and them working outside of the legality of politics has always been underwritten by these fucking billionaires.
Yep.
You know, and you got Hans-Jörg Weiss
Yep.
in Switzerland trying to put state ballot initiatives in the 2024 election. You know, in places like Arizona and places like that. Soros and all these people have been funding all of their illegality for too long.
Totally. I also like that you threw a ball question in there.
Yeah,
That was
and
that was
knocked it out of the
great
park.
ball.
I mean, we're serious about ball here on the program.
Yeah, we know ball.
And it sounds like the governor's prepared for
You got it in Texas.
quite a season.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's so good. All right. So, look, thank you again to the governor for coming on and giving us a little firsthand look. I know you've seen a lot of this on the news, but probably not quite like that. What's the White House's reaction to all of this? You recall in the first term, President Trump discussed this at some length, and there was an effort to sort of address it in some way. It was unsuccessful ultimately, probably because it didn't have the kind of profile that people like Governor Abbott have given this entire situation to ensure that non-residents, illegal immigrants, weren't counted in a census. And this is the great coup that Democrats have been able to effectuate in the census process, is that they count anyone who's here, whether legal or not. So when you open the borders, as Joe Biden did for 4 years and allowed 20 million people in here, by Democrat standards, that counts.
And then their allies running cities establish a sanctuary city so that illegals go to the sanctuary city, and then by default, because of what they've done in the federal level, they will have more people in those cities that are run by Democrats.
And
It's an important thing I think Ashbrook is pointing out here, and that is because these cities are sanctuary cities, they are getting more resources from the federal government because they're counting those people.
Yep.
It means that it doesn't just impact LA when LA declares itself a sanctuary city. You, dear taxpayer, pay for that, regardless of where you live.
It's an apportionment issue.
Right, and it's what they hide behind on all this shit. They're such fucking cowards on all the Medicaid stuff, too. They use a budget gimmick and want to give free health care to illegal immigrants, and they cry foul when we're like, I think American people should get Medicaid, not illegal immigrants.
So just to put a fine point on it, what happens is they count these illegal immigrants for apportionment.
Yeah.
They then award representation based on the counting of people who shouldn't be here in the first place. Federal resources are allocated by that apportionment. So it's not just representation in the House of Representatives, it's things like Medicaid, right? It's federal assistance in every possible way. So you, as a taxpayer, are actually on the hook double. One, your views aren't represented, and two, the resources that you pay into the federal government go to places that have these sanctuary policies.
Sanctuary policies. So you're talking about the worst people in the Democratic coalition.
Yes.
The furthest left people actually have like twice as much voting power as you do.
Yep.
Right? Because they're counting all these other people who are illegal immigrants who don't vote. It makes their vote twice, 3 times as powerful.
Yes, that's 100%. So Trump is onto this. He's been onto it for years. Now he can do something about it. And so this is an Axios yesterday. Trump demands a new census that excludes unauthorized residents. President Trump on Thursday announced that that he had instructed the Commerce Department to immediately begin working on a new census, the big picture. The development comes as the White House is pushing red states to draw new congressional maps more favorable to Republicans ahead of the 2026 midterms. The Constitution requires the census every 10 years to apportion congressional districts. Driving the news, Trump, in a Thursday Truth Social post, put a finer point on this and sort of elaborated on what it was that we just discussed. But the point is, what they want to say is like brass politics, right? It's like, oh, they want more Republican districts. What it is are more districts that represent Americans.
This feels like such a hit dogs holler situation.
100.
Where you see the media is being like, wow, they just want to do this to get more Republican districts. Hold up. Are you saying that allowing illegal aliens to have sanctuary cities means Democrats get more votes in Congress? Are you straight up admitting that's the whole game here?
How could that
You're just straight up
be?
saying that? Okay.
I was told that that wasn't the case. I was told that these were all fairly drawn by nonpartisan
You
commissions.
know, I think the Democrats will probably settle for 3/5 representation, so they can work
My
on
God.
these strawberry plantations for their modern day slavery. How about that?
They're like, no, my kids, we need farms full of illegal immigrant children growing weed. Like,
Yeah.
that's, if you
It's
can't
what
get,
they want, if we're being honest.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's what I appreciated about the Hunter Biden interview. I mean, amongst other things, him burning down the entire Democratic establishment. He speaks to this very clearly. He's like, okay, well, if you don't want illegal immigration, then you don't want your yard done.
Yeah.
Or your
Who's going to handle your garden or clean your hotel rooms? He's
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean,
super in touch there.
That's what he was saying, but that's what the modern Democrat Party believes. It's like, no, we need low-skilled, underpaid work that we don't have to respect as a society. And unless we have that, our lives aren't going to be nearly
And
as
they
good.
straight face that
They
stuff.
do.
Yeah.
They do. At the same time, they claim to be a party of civil rights.
Right.
I mean, it's just
We see right through it.
absolutely
And I
disgusting.
mean, I think this is such a critical point here, is because if you make the census count only citizens, as it should be, it's the only reasonable way to go about this, then that also controls how resources start getting divvied up. Because if U.S. taxpayers are not paying for these sanctuary cities full of illegals, all of a sudden those cities are like, wait, what? We can't have a ridiculous unlimited budget that we never have to balance because we'll just have federal taxpayers come take care of us because we want to use this as a power grab for Democrats?
the federal government is not going to pay for our public schools English as a second language programs
Bingo.
because we want to make this a sanctuary city.
Yeah, it's a compounding effect, right? And there's one way to look at it, which is, well, there's more resources there for the rest of the country that actually pays taxes in this country. The other way to look at it, which is more accurate, is the compounding impact that these cities have on federal resources, which is, like you mentioned, I mean, there are programs that are stood up absolutely exclusively for the unique challenges that these cities have by being sanctuary cities.
They just can't be held, faultless for their own decision
Can't
making.
be.
They can't be insulated from the cost
Bingo.
of that stuff. If you're going to do a dance and say about how we are a sanctuary city, then you got to foot the bill.
It's like
Right.
in the Abbott interview. It's like the one thing that Democrats and the left hate more than anything is consequences. That's what they hate. They
Yeah.
run from it as much as possible.
Yeah, it is a compounding impact that affects so many things, and especially when it's on spin cycle, it really affects Democrats' voting ability. So, like, if you want to talk about money laundering, I'm telling you right now that you, the taxpayer, are putting the coin in the machine and it comes out as a Democrat vote.
Is it bad that every time Ashbrook opens his mouth, I'm afraid a PL is going to come out of it?
He's gonna
You
talk
never
about the
know.
loopholes. We might find out there's a lot more loopholes.
No, like
You
every
never
time
know.
he grabs the microphone, I'm like, oh my God.
If you didn't listen to that last episode, it was a banger.
The last 30 minutes of that thing went so far off the rails. But
What
I have like a PTSD.
I'm worried.
What I'm telling you is you are going to get truth that no one else will tell you. Right here on the Ruthless Variety Program, life-giving, life-enhancing brotherhood.
You are right that no one else will tell you. There is no question about that. So the former president weighed in, Barack Obama. I got several observations to make about this. Let's put up graphic one just so you know what it is that he said. He's weighed in on the redistricting. He says we can't lose focus on what matters right now. Republicans in Texas are trying to gerrymander district lines to unfairly win 5 seats in the next year's midterm elections. That's a power grab that undermines our democracy. Never mind the fact that, the guy's from a state that has several districts that are drawn. I don't know, creatively gives it too much credit. I mean, it's incredible.
We talked about this with the governor. I mean, if you look at District 13, you look at District 17, under no circumstances would a normal person draw those lines. I mean, think about it, just step back for a second. If you're a county commissioner and you're like, well, who am I supposed to call that's my representative to the federal government? I got 3 different representatives in my county who I'm supposed to call. Because they're splitting these Trump counties like slivers so that they don't have to be represented by Republicans.
It turns out they want to disenfranchise Trump voters. Who would have thought?
Oh, weird, right? And it turns out Manute Bol could lay from one side to the other of one of those district lines and vote in 2 counties.
What a pull! Manute Bol!
That's right.
So and also, I mean, when you bring up Barack Obama in this context, it's also important to note that his best friend Eric Holder has essentially turned this into a cash cow.
And has for years.
This kind of setting up gerrymandering and crooked voting laws. Eric Holder is secured the bag off of this.
Yeah. Yeah, no question. But here's a larger point about Barack Obama. Aside from redistricting, I said this on X the other night. I find it fascinating every day. Whatever you think about George W. Bush and his administration, the post-presidency of 43 and 44 is an incredible sociological experiment, right? Where George W. Bush, whether you loved him or hated him, when he was done, he was done. Mm-hmm. He stopped weighing in on partisanship. He didn't put his thumb on the scale on national debates. He thought it was classless to try to get involved with something he knew only a sliver about that was briefed in the news because he wasn't in the center of it anymore, as most presidents tend to do, Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton notwithstanding.
Yep, and that's the thing is because it was done to him. You had Jimmy Carter and all of them come out and tell the media that oh yeah, these people, they hate this country.
Yeah, right. But that's the way that everything was envisioned, that you're you inherit a statesman-like role where you're a caretaker of the country. You can speak to larger issues. When there are big things that come up, you can help provide leadership if the president of the United States, who's the current one, asks you to do so. And if not, you're largely away from the scene. Not Barack Obama.
Nope.
This cat is weighing in on a redistricting state legislator debate. There's no cause too small for this guy to get involved in. It is the most demeaning, complete tearing down.
And he's so concerned and worried about the state of democracy, he's got a Netflix production company. That's what he spends his time on. His country's in peril. That's why I work for Netflix.
Here's where I might disagree with you on the idea that there is no cause too small, because I think that if Obama is weighing in, it tells you that this is the biggest, most important thing to George Soros right now.
Yeah, I could see that. 100%. I mean, it isn't just Holder, as Smug pointed out. I mean, Mark Elias has made his whole career on filing all these
these people,
lawsuits.
Mark Elias and the rest of it, they're fucking hacks.
Yeah, but
all these people are Democratic hacks.
Right.
And the point is that regardless of whether you're a Republican president or a Democratic president, if you're president of the United States, you inherit a pretty unique space, right? Mm-hmm. There's only been 47 of them in this country. And up to this point, it has always been assumed that you inherit a statesman-like role and you do statesman-like things. Mm-hmm. This cat, if it's responsive to George Soros, that tells you everything.
Quite the contrast.
Yeah.
To your point, quite the contrast with W.
I think both of you are actually right in this, but you're talking about 2 separate things. It is the number one priority of the deep-pocketed billionaires of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
But you're also right, and that is Barack Obama can't exist in the world unless he's the center of attention.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, this is a guy who still puts out his Spotify fucking summer playlist and his reading list for the beach. I mean, this guy is desperate for attention. He's got his wife there tearing him down on a podcast. These people are so desperate for attention to be influencers. It's fucking pathetic.
I mean, it's
Big
nuts.
Mike.
His wife
Big
has
Mike.
a podcast with her brother where she was like, actually, Barack Obama sucks. Thank God I didn't have a son. What? I mean, bro, why are you out here dropping takes on redistricting? You need to take care of that.
Take care of your house.
But that,
Big Mike's running wild.
it's crazy to me. You know, I mean, we haven't been. It's not like we're 75 years old and we're working. I'm sorry, that's not a boomer blast. Don't hit me up in the comments.
Hit 'em
But
up.
it's not like we're 75 years old and we're looking back on life and we're like, well, this is the way that things used to be done. Like, it's relatively recent history where people all kind of assumed that you should be a statesman.
I think it's a misreading by Barack Obama. I think most people in this country, the theater's been revealed of his presidency. The mythos of
Yeah.
Barack Obama, statesman, is gone. Nobody actually thinks that about him anymore.
Again, he's a Netflix production guy now.
Right.
It's like, wow.
Yeah,
That's what you've done. You're now a Netflix dude.
the
Congrats.
business of Barack Obama is Barack Obama.
Yeah.
That's the end of it.
I'd like
That's
to
it,
know
dude.
what happened to the cook.
Oh my God, Jesus! We're
Never been
laughing.
answered.
We're laughing.
Parody.
We're parody. We're laughing and joking and carrying on here on the Ruthless Friday program. And as we do have a question of the day as it relates to this entire topic, which is, do you think these Texas Dems are going to the brig?
Any of them end up in jail? I hope. So.
Are they going to end up in jail? I mean, look, they've got statutes on the books that you heard the governor talk about it. There are things that could compel these people to not only be arrested and drawn back to Texas, but if they're taking cash from George Soros.
Well, might I add one thing? We were on Will Kane's show on Fox yesterday.
Oh, jeez.
And before he had us on, he did a fantastic
Oh, I agree.
interview with
Yeah.
one of these Democrats, and she was sort of in this nondescript white background, I assume in some hotel room somewhere. And towards the end of the interview, and Will did such a fantastic job
Yeah.
of being forceful, but didn't make it a hostile interview. He was asking substantive questions about this entire thing, and it got to the end of the interview, and her connection mysteriously
Yep.
ended.
It was like, shh, can't hear you. Oh, bad
right.
connection.
And Will said, my last question is, who's paying for all
Yep.
this?
Yep.
Where's your stipend? Who paid for the airfare?
They
What is
knew.
the room you're in?
They knew it was coming,
I think so.
and they couldn't answer it. I thought you were going to highlight the fact that we had both an abortion and Jan 6 joke about dogs in the first 5 minutes of that interview.
It's always awesome.
We're Renaissance men.
You didn't think it could be done on the Fox News channel. It was. Smug, your leadership was invaluable in that regard.
It was.
I love to give.
It was a great interview. We love Will so much. Gosh, he's so kind to have us on. I can't imagine that goes over well everywhere, but I think the audience likes it. They certainly like Will, no question about it. So our last question of the day on Thursday was, who's next to get the axe from the liberal media? We mentioned Stern, Colbert. Seems like the axes are following everywhere, and we asked for your opinions on all of that. When you like and subscribe, we read all of your comments, and when we do that, we start with a voice.
Okay, first comment comes from Phil Sheridan, and Phil writes, Jimmy Kimmel will be the next domino to fall. The
Interesting.
market for buttersoft 10-ply Trump-deranged crybabies is seriously on the wane. I can't wait to watch him tear up again on national TV and make the pathetic case for how important his vote is.
I find Kimmel so fascinating. It's a guy that had the Man Show.
Which
Yeah.
was great
You know,
comedy.
he was like a Stern guy. I mean, they were like edgy, funny.
Girls jumping on trampolines in bathing suits.
That was like his thing.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden now he's just like,
It's like against it.
It's like the it's the
Against
yeah, it's not just against it. It's like the largest overcorrection in modern media history.
Yeah.
He became the biggest woke scold.
he's just a scold. That's
not,
what
not
it is.
fun.
No, there's nothing fun about it. It's just like you shouldn't think this way. Anyway, Dunks, what do we got for comment two?
We got John Koenig. John writes, the next person to get the axe, I suspect, is The View. I see the viewership declining aside from clips that people use to mock them.
That's true, dude.
Honestly, I think that's all of their ratings now.
Dude, I do think it actually helps them.
For sure it does. Additionally, Sonny's initial question to Kamala, what would you do different than Biden, proved to be the initial nail in the coffin of her campaign. Go back and watch our episode, by the way, right after that View appearance, and we all called this was the end of the thing. We kind of know what we're talking about.
Kind of do.
But the question, who is next to be canceled, is rife with numerous people and too hard to tell. Heck, I didn't realize Howard Stern was relevant.
Fair
Owned.
enough. Fair
Owned.
enough.
I love it.
All right, Smuggles, what do we got?
Comment 3 comes from Lori Loth, and Lori writes, please, please, by all that is holy, please let it be Jimmy Kimmel. No one has been more sanctimonious. He took a once funny show and made it unbearable to watch. Let us not forget the guy cried on election night when Trump won. This from a guy who hosted The Man Show. He's obviously lost his manhood. Please just go away, Jimmy. That's the thing. That's the thing, is he has completely forgotten his job as a comedian. He's not funny. He cries. People are done with that.
There's a special anxiety for Kimmel.
Oh, yeah.
In the comments, at least amongst this particular audience.
Well, because they know where he started. Everybody watched the
I
Man Show.
love Ashbrook's. Now he's against it.
He is. Like, he and Corolla had something very funny. You know, it was unique. It was edgy, and people tuned in, and now he pretends like
Now he's
he
against
just
it.
forgot about it.
All right, so a special little flavor you only get here in the Ruthless Variety program is us goofing on each other. And, well, our friend Michael here has taken it upon himself here with football season
Yeah.
to have an extra commentary with our friend John about his team, given that we've over-indexed on Ohio.
I thought it was only fair.
Yeah.
With all the Ohio talk, all the Bengals talk, especially all the Ohio talk, he wedged into a conversation with the Vice President of the United States.
Who's
Yes.
from Ohio.
Oh, we got a limited amount of his time. Let's make
No,
17 of the 20 minutes about Ohio. Unbelievable.
Just offensive.
That's where he's from, but okay.
And so I figured just with the beginning of the football season, preseason started Thursday night.
Yep.
I assume these aren't going to be Colts jokes.
No, they're not, pal. So I have procured a special guest here on the Ruthless Variety program to deliver a special message just to you, John.
boy.
Can we play that?
John, what's up? It's Kevin Burkhardt from Fox Sports, and football's around the corner, baby. Cannot wait. I know you can't either. Big Bengals fan, and I'm really excited because we never get the Bengals on Fox, and I get to do a few of their games this year, and I can't wait for that, which is going to be different. Get a chance to see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase up front. However, Duncan, your good buddy, wanted me to reach out, and he thinks your Bengals fandom, in fact, the entire state of Ohio sucks.
Let's go!
Fucking not a fan.
Let's go!
And really would just like it all to stop. And he also thinks that the Skyline chili on pasta is the most disgusting thing on the planet. Got to be honest with you. I agree with Duncan on that one. That is horrendous. But, Cincy, great fans. Great ice cream, great ribs, a lot of good positives. I don't know if the Cincy defense is one of them. Trey Hendrickson in the fray here. I mean, they're not going to pay him, or are they? They should. I don't know if they have any money left. You know, they had issues. They bring in a new defensive coordinator. Sam Hubbard retires. We know they're going to score, but can they stop anyone, John? Duncan hopes not. Duncan, this is for you. John, your team sucks. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the NFL on Fox. Enjoy the football season.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
To quote Smug, what more can be said? Kevin Burkhardt, the legend. What an absolute incredible dunk. Are you kidding me?
That was awesome.
Voice of football, giving it to you straight.
Yeah. I just figured you were tired of me saying it, so we had to bring in an expert.
I mean, that'll get you excited for NFL.
What? It will,
A
buddy.
legend.
It will. I mean, you know, to tell you the truth, the Bengals are going to have to let their playing speak for them. You know, there's no more talking that can be done. But I will tell you that one of the things that Kevin Burkhardt said that caught my attention is the good ribs in Cincinnati, Ohio. And what I want to do right now is thank Montgomery Inn and Evan Andrews and Cincy
those
Favorites,
ribs were great.
who provided some ribs for the fellas the other weekend.
I will say,
unfortunately, pal, you were out of town. But
I'm aware of them, though. I've had them. The Andrews, fantastic
They were
family.
phenomenal ribs.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tommy Andrews as well. Great guy.
Yeah, good dude. I'm sorry I missed that, but you're right about one thing.
Good ribs.
Yeah.
He's right about the chili, the skyline thing.
I love it. If you ask me my last meal on earth, that's what I would say.
No kidding.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I love it. I love it. I'm from my town. I have nothing to hide. I like it.
It's like
my
that
thing.
and a glass of pool water. Just disgusting.
What an incredible, I mean,
I did it for
that's
you.
a surprise.
Nice work, pal.
Kevin
All right,
Burkhardt.
let me get to the rest of our little lightning round here. So, on the left, there's just this, if you say colonization, it's like a trigger word. They lose their mind. It's like white supremacy equivalent,
Yeah.
basically. They like no historical context for any of it at all. The word in and of itself is white supremacy for them. You gotta see this clip of CBS because it just goes to a new level. Clip 2, please.
But if we want to keep growing a population, or if we want to live forever, all right, we're going to need another planet.
So is that the moon? Because I
don't want to live on the moon.
Right.
Also, the moon's not a planet.
Will it serve as a functional life source eventually for human beings? And B, we know how the age of colonialism worked on this planet. Should we be trying to colonize and saying that there's a keep-out zone that not other countries can participate in having?
Well, the real problem with the colonization history in Western civilization is that there were people already there. Right? There are no moon beings that were displaced.
As far as we know. As far as we know.
It's just so amazing to me for so many reasons, right? I mean, they're just a bunch of leftists talking about leftism things, and then they're like, but wait, colonization, that's negative. We know that. And like here you've got a rock floating around outer space, and they're like, do you think that there's moral hazard in that?
What it reveals is how vacant all of their ideology is that they know words, but they don't know history.
Yep.
They know nothing. They hear a buzzword and they know they're supposed to oppose it. And so they weave it into a sentence that makes no sense. You're making Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is an out-and-out lib, laugh at you for being so ignorant.
Also, I love the contrast between the left and CBS and normal people. Okay, Republicans are like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have to pay as much in taxes so you can spend a little more on your family. And the libs are like, no, we should move to outer space.
But not if you call it colonization.
Right.
Also, I just want to say for the record, I think colonialism was good. I think it was actually, on balance, great for the world. That it brought a lot of people into modernity. Think about Cortez showing up in Central America.
I still don't get how that's controversial.
And Mexico. What was the peace-loving society he walked into? The people doing the ritualistic sacrifice and baby murder? Like that was the good place. That was the good place, and he was the bad guy.
Well, there was that professor lady who like went viral when she was like, no, actually the child sacrifices were good because it was like anti-colonial. Like, this is what college professors are teaching.
I mean, look, I understand it's a complicated history and that people did bad
know,
things. But you know what?
sacrifice
At
kind of
what
bad.
point in history did people not do bad things?
Also,
and another thing, it's an entirely selective history when it comes to the liberal left of who is actually guilty of this sort of colonialization. I mean, we talk about land acknowledgments in the United States, but I don't see the Arabs leaving North Africa. Has anybody called on them to leave Morocco?
How interesting.
They're going to leave Egypt. They're going to go back to the Gulf.
Turnabout is fair play.
Well, all I'm going to say is, like, as I've said here previously on the Variety program, show me the date and time. Where is the date and time in the history of the world where everybody was exactly where they're supposed to be with the land that they deserve? It doesn't fucking exist. And all this is fake. And all of it really is to undermine capitalism, Western civilization. They don't actually care about anything. It's a vacant ideology.
Yeah, you had me at America. I feel like that worked out pretty well.
It's pretty great.
It worked out
Pretty
pretty
great.
well.
The only reason we can even talk about colonizing the moon or anywhere else, even though it's not a planet, that guy's fucking stupid, is because of the United States of America. Because we went to the moon.
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
There you go. I'm with you. All right, so there's some dirt. The thing that we've covered here for basically the last 9 months, over a year now, the Biden-Harris sort of rift. It turns out the Biden team is starting to get a little frisky,
A little chippy
about some suggestions by the Harris team about who they are and what they were doing. And so Fox News helpfully puts out a article. Biden team is ready to drop dirty on Harris if she comes after him. Political analyst Mark Halperin revealed last week that the former president, Joe Biden's team, is prepared to release unflattering stories about their efforts to prepare former Vice President Kamala Harris for a potential run if she comes after him in her new book. I
love this.
I love it for so many reasons, not the least of which is the text is submitted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no coming back now.
Well, what I love about it is it's Biden and Harris arguing. They should make it a TV show. They can call it The Biggest Loser.
Go. I like that.
Yeah, this is about that 107 days thing that we talked about.
Yeah.
You know, her book that's coming out on her short-lived presidential campaign. Biden apparently, reportedly, signed a $10 million deal with Hatchet Book Group
Nice.
for his upcoming presidential memoir. Okay, I got some thoughts on that too. A $10 million book deal for a book that is going to go unread.
Yep.
I mean, either they're the dumbest people on the face of the planet, or they're the same people that bought the paintings from Hunter Biden. Because there is no chance they recover $10 million on the sale of Joe Biden's book, unless it's like, Kamala's a whore. You know what I mean? Like the things that he has to say
That's the
in
thing
there
is
in order to make it readable.
I mean, even for Kamala's book, this is such a fundamental misunderstanding of demand out there. No one, not even on the left, wants to read either of these people's books. The only way to make anyone care, and this is the wonderful part, is by throwing in something, throwing somebody under the bus. Like, if Joe Biden throws Kamala under the bus, his book will sell. If Kamala throws Joe under the bus, her book will sell. That's all people are interested in. No one in this country cares what Kamala Harris thinks. No one in this country cares what Joe Biden thinks. No one in this country thinks Joe Biden can't think. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right.
Which raises a question. Who will write the Biden book? Is it Jill Biden? Is it Hunter Biden? Is it Bruce Reed? Is it somebody from the media? You know, I really wonder who is actually putting pen to paper for the Biden book.
So I actually have a countervailing take on all of this.
Oh, you think he's going to write it?
No, I think Biden should get that $10 million for this book advance.
Yeah, but he's not going to do what you want him to do.
No, he is going to do what I want him to do.
I don't think he will.
And that is stop doing deals with his son with China and foreign governments.
You think
the
Burisma-
only way
you
to
think-
stop the crime family
Libs should pay him.
from doing, foreign collusion with governments and putting Hunter, the crack addict, on boards is to pad the pockets of Joe Biden so he can
it's
feed
never
his
enough.
family.
It's never enough for
I
these
think you
people.
just give him $10 million so he doesn't compromise the United States of America. He's barely in control of the faculties in his brain.
It's just feeding Fat Albert.
Literally. I just
what
gotta
you're
do
doing.
it. This is the cost of doing business.
It's a good take.
I mean, it's rational.
Yeah. So one thing that we covered last week was the whole implosion at the Washington Post and Politico doing like a TikTok on everybody who's leaving. It's like 100 different writers have left. And there was a story in Fox yesterday about how all they're doing in the newsroom is having cake and farewell parties. They say that like every afternoon there's like a couple of cakes, some balloons. Thanks for your service. What a sad thing.
That's good color.
Do they all get a cake themselves or do they share cakes at this point?
It's just like they're going to have to start grouping them together if they haven't
Like
already.
a big old cheat cake so it can fit a lot of names on it.
It's like a tragic comedy. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not good.
That one was written by none other than Joey Brackets.
Oh,
yeah.
Joey Brackets.
Yeah, Wolfson.
Love that kid.
We love him.
You guys want some animal news?
Yes.
Always.
I think you came up with this one, Smug. He's a big animal purveyor.
He is.
He comes up with a lot of this stuff. Turns out wild pigs, according to New York Post, wild pigs in California develop bright blue skin after exposure to pesticides and rat poison. Officials. What's the deal with this thing, Smug?
Can we get graphic? Look at this. Okay, so that's what happened. They cut open some wild pigs who have been eating so some of these crops have been exposed to this rat poison, and their skin is, I mean, that is straight up blue.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for our folks who are on YouTube, this is one of the reasons you want to jump on YouTube. That looks like neon blue skin. That is terrifying.
I call that avatar blue.
Yeah, dude, that is exactly what it looks like. It says here in the New York Post article, swarms of wild pigs in California develop blue flesh after ingesting pesticides containing rat poison, and officials warned other common game animals may also be infected. The feral hogs should be shot and killed, by the way.
Or turned blue.
I mean, killed, hopefully, without turning them blue. I don't think the blue is a good thing.
Let's
but
turn them blue.
The feral hogs in Monterey County were exposed to a type of pesticide bait containing the anticoagulant rodenticide, defacinone, a type of rat poison, prevents blood clotting, forces internal bleeding.
Wait, so it stops blood clotting?
Yeah, so if you shoot one of these, they bleed out like a stuck pig.
Perfect.
What's wrong with this? Do we have a problem with this?
No, but here's a question for you guys. You know, we have talked off the air many times about doing a Ruthless special where we all go hella hogging.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I think that we definitely need to do that so we can see for ourselves. We can open these pigs up and we can see the blue.
That's
for
my suggestion.
ourselves.
We had the governor of Texas, Governor Abbott, on, and Texas has a huge problem with these feral hogs attacking crops, destroying property. I would love to join the governor in a helicopter. We could go hella hogging. It's like a huge thing in Texas.
Yeah.
Their pigs aren't blue, to my knowledge. I mean, they're not blue yet.
Turn them
but
blue.
I would love to help.
Turn them blue. Turn them blue.
I'd love to do our part and kill these hogs. I mean, there's nothing sounds more fun than being in a helicopter chain gunning these hogs and helping farmers.
The rope gun.
I'm confused. Am I supposed to feel like badly that they're blue?
No, I don't think so. It's just like if you're hunting them, you don't want to take a blue pig and process them and eat them.
I don't think you would process
but you
a
wouldn't,
wild
right? Because you're gonna.
pig.
Well, I've processed wild pig. I've killed wild pig.
These things?
Yes.
Wait, you've eaten them?
Yes.
No way. I didn't know you could do that.
Yes, you can.
Where do you make the first cut when you're processing?
Oh, geez.
You make them at the ankles when you put them on the stirrups. And then you rip it down, and then somebody, takes out the entrails and the guts, and you got the...
I didn't know you ate these things.
You can eat them. So what you do, you take them to a processing plant. They're going to throw in like a ton of like jalapeno and cheese, and they're going to make sausage for you and stuff like that. You can eat it. It's
you can't do a rack out of this.
No, it's quite good. Well, they will give you the backstrap.
Oh, okay.
You can eat the backstrap, by itself. It's okay. Everything else needs to be processed though, because it's pretty gamey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, it's a filthy animal.
You don't want the backstrap of this one that we put up.
No,
Not the
we
blue
don't.
ones.
No.
It's a blue one. Yeah, we don't want that. Okay, so have you guys seen the drunk guy at the airport?
No, I have not.
Do you know how many times I've thought about this?
I can't wait to see
Like,
this.
just think about, when you're in the airport, first of all, there are no rules. Like, if you're at the airport and you're delayed for a couple hours, the only place that you can reasonably go to an airport bar at like 8 a.m., order a tip topper, and nobody gives you a second look.
I told you about that story when I was in Dallas Airport. I got stuck there, and it was 6 a.m, and I was like, well, what am I going to do? I went to the bar. I was like, my usual drink, double bourbon neat. And they were like, Texas law is like, you have to order a food, and we can serve you hard liquor at 6 a.m. And they're like, we have $1 bread. And so I'm sitting there with like a double of bourbon and a plate with like a slice of bread on it. And then I look like 2 seats over, and it's a dude with like 2 martinis and a slice of bread. And it's like, if you're in Dallas Airport, 6 a.m, look for the dudes with bread. They're having a tough day.
That's a good loophole, unlike Ashbrook's loophole.
Well,
that is not. This is
the old
this
PL.
Is the Democrats' loophole. Let's be very clear. This is what they talk about. It's how they get away with
it's
things.
the old PL. Anyway, what you're about to observe is somebody who is exercising a thought that almost all of us have had at one point after being stuck in an airport for a prolonged period of time. Clip 3.
Tom Brennan of Cheektowaga says he was shocked by what he saw when he arrived at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport early Monday morning. Brennan posting this viral video on social media. Now the video has been viewed nearly 100,000 times. It shows a man driving an airport cart through the moving walkway, causing extensive damage to the walkway's glass and the cart. NFTA police arrested 29-year-old Kevin Sinning of Wyoming following that incident. Police say Sinning was visibly intoxicated.
So this dude.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Dude.
So this dude, he was stuck in the airport for a prolonged period of time, and he decided, those carts that just like whiz by.
Yep. The ones that'll beep at you.
They beep at you, and they act like there's some kind of a roadway in the middle of a hallway where everybody's walking, and like it's always kind of pissed me off. But I've always thought what if I just drove one of those?
Here's my question: did that the horizontal escalator things, like moving walkways, was it broken? And was he like, I've had enough?
I'm driving it right down the middle of it. We don't have this side of the story.
That's what I can't possibly understand is the logic of this. You've already acquired a motor vehicle.
He had a couple. I think he had a couple.
You
of
can
bread
go
orders.
faster than the people mover. Why are you also on the people mover?
He had a couple of bread orders before he did.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Because it looks like the thing is broken down, and he's had enough. And here's the thing. Look at him. There's nothing worse than airliners and airports, and the way that they treat people is criminal, and they should be held accountable. Sadly, they probably never will be held accountable, and this is why people flip out when they're in airports. They're being treated like garbage.
And what Josh said is what's wrong with the media today. We do not have his side of the story.
We don't.
Nobody has it.
Nobody knows.
Can I ask you one question, Smug? You mentioned this bread and double bourbon meat situation in Dallas. Was that DFW or was that Love?
DFW, I don't fly Southwest. Are you insane?
Wait, I thought Love was the Southwest.
I thought I could slip you up.
Yeah. Heck no.
I was going to get him to say Love.
Not happening, dude.
I love you just slow rolled that grenade in there.
Look.
See if it explodes.
Chance.
I'm a professional operative.
Yeah, well, he is too.
I mean,
evidently.
DFW is not great, but man, it's not Southwest. At least it's that.
Is it Love?
Lastly, some news out of China. It's not great. Stressed adults, this is according to New York Post, stressed adults rely on pacifiers to soothe themselves. Quote, I feel a sense of safety from childhood. Not good, folks. Not good. I don't know what that means of the state of affairs in China, but if they are happy to report, they don't allow you to have conversations all that often with the American media. If this is, it was in the South China Morning Post at one point, so it's got to get some approval. Apparently, it's okay in China to have pacifiers as an adult.
I can't believe they put up with this.
I mean, our great president knows weakness when he sees it, and I think this is why he is doubling down on the trade war against China. He knows he can win.
Might very well be the case. Anyway, you got to remember our question of the day, which is, are they going to arrest these guys or not?
Yep.
Texas Democrats, are you going to see justice? And I think it's an open question. I mean, there's statutes on the books, as the governor was talking about. And if they just refuse to come back, Rangers are involved. And I've heard now the FBI.
It's the same thing. Dems are always counting on, remember years ago when AOC got fake arrested where she put her hands behind her back like she was handcuffed and she wasn't? They think they've got the optics on this of oh boy, if we get arrested, we look like we're some freedom fighters. Lock them up.
Look, well said.
If any place can do it, it's the great state of Texas.
It's been a hell of a week. We've learned a lot.
A lot. Some things I didn't want to learn.
Everything from the old PL to the helicopter man in the woods to a lot of other stuff. And now we're talking.
I mean, I would love to close it with some of these Texas Dems getting arrested. That'd be icing on the cake.
It would be very good. Anyway, thank you for joining us this week. It has been an absolute pleasure here at the Ruthless Variety Program. Like and subscribe. Leave your comments to the question of the day, and we're going to see you next Tuesday. I think we did it, fellas.
I think so. Absolute banger of an episode. Gentlemen, thank you so much, Governor Abbott, and thank you so much to our listeners. Remember, if you have not yet, go to the YouTube. Hit the subscribe. It's more fun in video. So until next time, minions, keep the faith, hold the line, and own the libs. We'll see you Tuesday. Stay ruthless.